Everyone, it's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be doing a comparison between the Nike Sabrina 2 and the Nike Lebron 22. So without further ado, let's take a look at both of these shoes. Alright, so as always, first things first, as far as the traction goes on the Nike Sabrina 2, you are getting this solid rubber outsole in a herringbone variety in the forefoot. In the heel, you are kind of getting this circular pattern right here. Now, how these perform on clean or dirty floors is awesome. Obviously, on dirty floors, these do collect a little bit of dust to the point where you will have to wipe every 4 or 5 plays, but I just think that this is a very reliable setup. Not to mention, I do think you could bring these outdoors if you want. I would probably wait till they're on heavy discount, but the rubber compound is pretty firm and it is really widely spaced in the forefoot. So this is a very reliable setup as far as the traction goes on the Nike Sabrina 2s. Now for the Nike Lebron 22s, as far as what you're getting right here is a decoupled outsole, kind of in this triangular pattern right here. Now on clean floors, this is awesome. They stick like glue, they make a ton of loud squeaks, and it just performs awesome. Where it struggles is on dust. On dusty floors, this collects a ton, like a plethora of dust within this. And if you're not wiping every 2 or 3 plays, you will be sliding to a stop with the Nike Lebron 22s. And that's its biggest downfall as far as this rubber compound and just this translucent outsole. I was sliding quite a bit on step backs and really hard crossovers with this, whereas I didn't have that issue with the Sabrina 2s. So as far as the traction goes with both of these shoes, they're both superb on clean floors, but on dirty floors, the Sabrina 2s definitely take the cake, because with this model right here, I just didn't really care for me sliding to a stop. It was really preventing me from making all of my movements confidently. Now, as far as the cushioning goes on both of these shoes, now one shoe is very minimal and one shoe you're getting a ton more cushioning. With the Sabrina 2s, you are getting a Cushlon 2.0 and 3.0 running throughout this hoop shoe. You don't get any zoom in the heel, but in the forefoot, you do get a top-loaded, decently large volume zoom airbag directly under your foot, which offers a very snappy feeling. This is a very nice cushion setup. It's very minimal, but I do think it's very tailored towards guards. Some big players do wear it, but my only gripe would be that Cushlon in the heel. I do think it's going to wear away over time and become very dead. But while they're fresh on foot, this is a very superb cushioning setup. With the Nike Lebron 22s, you are getting a Cushlon 2.0 running throughout this midsole and underfoot as far as that foam compound. At the back, you do have a very large 14mm bottom-loaded zoom airbag, and then in the forefoot, you're basically getting the full forefoot of the shoe. It is a top-loaded zoom turbo bag. It is articulated. It's very nice underfoot, very snappy and close to the floor, while the back of the shoe just offering a ton of plush impact protection. Now, between both of these shoes, what do I prefer on foot while I'm playing? I would have to say I do prefer the Sabrina 2s. Now, as far as longevity goes, the Nike Lebron 22 is going to last longer with that heel and forefoot zoom air. And I can't lie, it's so plush on foot. I really love this setup, but I also really love the minimal setup as far as the Sabrina 2 goes. So everything within me is saying go with the Sabrina 2s, but I just think for me being in my mid-30s, I still prefer the heel and forefoot zoom airbag in the Nike Lebron 22 just a little bit more. Now, as far as the materials go between both of these shoes, on the Sabrina 2s, you are getting a screen mesh running throughout. At the back right here and at the top of the tongue, you are getting a synthetic suede material. I just really like the variety of this upper, and this upper is very minimal and breathable as well. So that's something that I really love on the Nike Sabrina 2s. It's really nothing premium. It's quite cheap as well, honestly. I just really love the minimal aspect of this upper. Very lightweight upper. The Lebron 22s, you are getting a synthetic leather or kind of nubuck material that is perforated running throughout. The black material right here is a synthetic material as well, so really nothing premium on foot, but it does break in rather quickly on the Nike Lebron 22s compared to last year's 21s. But as far as what I like better on foot, it's not a comparison. the Nike Sabrina 2 just feels way nicer on foot. Not to mention, it's far more breathable. I was never hot within this shoe at all, whereas with the Nike Lebron 22, every time I took this shoe off, my sock was soaked. So as far as the materials go, some might say that this is more cheap as far as what you're getting and more budget friendly, but I just prefer the overall performance aspects and the breathability of the Nike Sabrina 2s. As far as the weight goes with both of these models, they're both a US size 10.5. The Nike Lebron 22s come in at 17 ounces even, whereas the Nike Sabrina 2s come in at 12.85 ounces. So all day and twice on Sunday, these are way lighter than the Nike Lebron 22s. And quite honestly, this is the heaviest shoe within the last 3 years. So kind of a letdown as far as the weight goes. So as far as the fit goes with both of these basketball shoes, right off the bat, I'm gonna have to say it's a tie. They both fit true to size, and they're both more or less wide foot friendly here in the toe box. Now they do taper in just a little bit right at the tip of the toe, but overall compared to previous years, I will say that the Sabrina 2 is more wide foot friendly while still maintaining a very snug one-to-one fit. The same goes for the Nike Lebron 22s. The 20 and 21s were a little bit more snug fitting, but I just really like the tapered toe box and really no extra volume within this hoop shoe. So as far as the fit goes, I'm gonna have to say it's a tie between the Sabrina 2s and the Lebron 22s. Now, as far as the support goes, one of these shoes is kind of built for everyone, and one of these shoes is built for one person, being LeBron James. Now, the Sabrina 2s have an internal heel counter, which is very rigid at the back of the shoe. Moving your way down from that, you do have these flywire strands running underneath that screen mesh on the lateral and on the medial side. So when you do crank down those laces, they do kind of harness your foot in nicely and just offer a very snug feeling on those hard lateral cuts. You also have this kind of Cushlon material that wraps up near your pinky toe. You do have a TPU shank plate at the midfoot and this outrigger right here preventing your foot from teetering over. Overall, this is a very supportive basketball shoe while still maintaining its mobility on court here in the Sabrina 2s. In the Nike Lebron 22s, the midfoot of this shoe is just so rigid. At the back, you still have that internal heel counter, but this chassis right here, it does a great job on hard lateral cuts, preventing your foot from spilling over, but it does wrap under and under to the medial side. And honestly, I can't move this shoe. And it honestly takes around 4 or 5 hours to break in. So this shoe is very rigid underfoot, and the toe basically has no forefoot flex either. So honestly, compared to the 20s and 21s, I think they made this shoe, honestly, for LeBron James. Him being in his 22nd season, he needs a shoe that's gonna have a ton of support and rigidity. So I think this shoe is more or less built for him. With the 20s and 21s, I did find them to be a little bit more mobile on foot. So as far as the support goes, this offers a ton of it, but I just prefer the lightweight nature and the more mobility that you get within the Sabrina 2s on court, being far less restrictive on foot. So the edge would definitely go to the Sabrina 2s. The LeBron 22s are no slouch, but just for me and my playstyle, they're just a little bit too rigid on foot. So that's going to do it for today's performance comparison. Both of these shoes are really nice shoes, but keep in mind, these retail for $130 USD. I think $160 for Nike ID pairs, whereas these come in for $180 USD. Far more expensive. Keep in mind, they did drop the price from the 20s and 21s, coming in at $200. But you are getting more synthetic and kind of cheaper materials on the 22s. The materials on the Sabrina 2s are really nothing special, but I just like their lightweight nature and breathability. Overall, they're very nice performing basketball shoes, but I just think Nike's best basketball shoe right now on court, bar none, even better than the Jaw 2s and everything else that they do have out for Jordan Brand, is the Nike Sabrina 2s. So I really love with what they're doing with her line thus far. The 1s were awesome. The 2s are even better. So out of both of these shoes, I will give my stamp of approval on the Nike Sabrina 2s. I just think it's a better performing basketball shoe, but keep in mind, if you do need a lot more cushioning, the Nike Lebron 22 is no slouch. I just think that this is more or less the same shoe as last year with the 21, and the fact that you can get those for like 50 to 60% off, I would kind of skip the 22s right now and pick up the 21s on sale. So overall, two awesome performing basketball shoes, but like I mentioned previously, the Sabrina 2s definitely take the cake. So that's going to do it for today's video. As always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that definitely helps the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for all the support for the last year and a half or 2 years. I do really enjoy doing these performance reviews. Obviously, the year is winding down. I have a few more performance reviews to get out. Keep it locked to the channel for those videos coming up in the next month or so. But as always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.